We back with the new intro, baby. No one knows what to do as soon as that intro kicks in. And we're trying to get hype with it, you know, and I don't think you guys are ready for it.
I can't. We need AJ to doctor that thing up when he gets back because it doesn't hit like Big HUD, but that's okay.
I mean, it definitely doesn't hit like Big HUD, but guess what? We ain't going to be getting copyright claim for that one.
Yeah, Big HUD hits with copyright claims. And I was actually going to say last episode that he hadn't hit us with one lately. I wonder if we just played it for too long. Doesn't matter. New intro, it's going to adapt.
I think that's exactly what happened. We got clipped for the copyright claim towards the end of the episode, but ultimately the last thing we want to do is start giving Big HUD some of our residual unless he signs some sort of like exclusive.
Fuck Big HUD. We ain't doing shit with him.
Cowboys CanFan intro deal. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck Big HUD. AJ, what's going on? How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Just out here in Saigon, aka Ho Chi Minh City.
What time is it?
It's 7:09 in the AM.
In the AM, so you're in
Good morning, Vietnam.
You're in the future right now. I'm going to shout out the socials really quick. We got CowboysCanFan.com. That has, it's kind of our hub to all of our socials, our Spotify, which we're trying to jack up, our Instagram, all the works, all the socials. It's at CowboysCanFan. And then, with the @ symbol in front of it. We're going to hop right into...
you know what? I didn't even show that, though.
Fuck it.
Not that we need to.
Doesn't matter.
There we go.
Hey, so I basically have this article. We've been talking a lot about the Amari Cooper situation, a lot about us losing receivers. And I found this article. Well, it's actually a clip on Yahoo Fantasy. And I want to play it for you guys just to get your guys' input. We don't need to show it. Just the soundbite, bro.
Oh, we're trying to not get that copyright, bro.
Obviously, they lose Cedric Wilson to the Dolphins.
So Matt Harmon
deal there. They extend Michael Gallup on maybe the most team-friendly contract in freaking NFL history. I love Gallup. Like, if you're getting a 50% discount from Cooper to Gallup, like that's a huge all the way for Michael Gallup in that one because he's not 50% less of a player than Amari Cooper. Obviously, he's coming off a late season ACL. I think that's why the Cowboys had the leverage here. But listen, is this not just like wheels all the way up for CeeDee Lamb or what?
I was so disappointed in his, production last year, but yes, all the way up for Lamb. I mean, they were among the league leaders.
I gotta pause it right there.
Yeah, pause it. What the hell's going on?
I gotta pause it with that guy talking shit about CeeDee Lamb's production. We kind of talked about it last week that it wasn't like crazy wide receiver one production. Like he didn't have over 10 touchdowns. He had 1,100 yards. Can you be mad at that in the position that he was in?
No.
Are you guys mad? I wasn't mad with CeeDee's production.
I last week and I think a few other times I've been talking about how the chemistry between Dak and CeeDee wasn't there. And then when we brought up them stats, I'm like, oh, I guess I am just like a bunch of those Cowboy fans who will talk smack about somebody and without even thinking about their stat line. So I don't think CeeDee Lamb had a bad season at all. I think everybody knows CeeDee Lamb's more capable of a receiver than what he produced last year.
Yeah, and the reason I'm playing this is because Jerry Jones kind of sent shockwaves around the NFL community this week by saying CeeDee Lamb is an upgrade over Amari. Crack him if you got him. CeeDee Lamb is an upgrade over Amari Cooper as Cowboys' #1 wide receiver. So before we finish the rest of the video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Is CeeDee Lamb an upgrade, or is Jerry Jones just trying to kind of make his getting rid of Amari Cooper seem like a not so bad move?
AJ, ladies first.
Thanks, guys. I mean, I don't want to argue with Cowboys fans about it because they are very, well, there's three of us right here. We're too passionate. But Amari Cooper was supposed to be the #1. He didn't, his contract was just too much for us to keep for another few years. And I don't know who you can directly say that he translated that extra money translated to. I don't know where, who it is, but obviously it freed up a lot of cash. And when you look at the guys that we have now, I mean, I think people can make an argument that there's a downgrade, but I definitely think giving CeeDee Lamb the responsibility, I mean, I trust that he's going to respond to that as the #1 and the dynamic ability. I believe he played in kind of the first 2 seasons, slot and then outside. So he's got experience all over the field now. And now as the #1, if Vanilla Pudding can, AKA Kellen Moore, can utilize that.
Fuck
he can
boy,
move him all over the field.
Kellen. Yeah, no, I would love. You're completely right. Like he kind of was in. He was kind of that slot, and then played outside a little bit. And we said this last week on the cast. We've kind of beat it a little bit. We beat it hard. We've said that it's his time to show if he's actually an upgrade. I mean, that's tough to say if he's an upgrade from Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is one of the better route runners in the NFL. CeeDee, I think, is more of an explosive player and has probably a little bit more grit to him than Amari.
Okay, so, and I think you mentioned this last year, the fact that the offense needed that spark when Cooper came onto the team. So if we look at Cooper as somebody who helped transition the offense into where it is, took some of the heat off of CeeDee Lamb and some of the other receivers that were playing last year because of his name and his route running abilities and people covering Cooper more, or just having him as an open weapon on the field. If we were able to use him for the last 2 years to transition our offense into what they could be doing this year, I think it was well worth it. I don't think we didn't lose anything by having Cooper on the team, and I don't think if anything, we're gonna be better without him because of the position it puts our wide receiver core coming into this season.
Okay, let's hear what these two dorks. I want to finish to hear what these two dorks had to say. And
you're not talking about
I'm not talking about you and Alex. I'm talking to.
You're not talking about me and Alex. You're not talking about chat either. There's a bunch of people in chat.
Run as much. That's suffering the injury. Blake Jarwin suffered some crazy hip injury that he's not going to be ready for the start of the season. I mean, after Gallup,
they cut him with the injury designation.
Oh, he's
right?
totally cut. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they'll bring back Schultz, but then after Gallup, who may not even be ready in September, it's Noah Brown, Malik Turner. I mean, it's also a little bit of a bump for my guy Tony Pollard, who I'm threatening to rank higher outright than Ezekiel Elliott this year. But I've seen some more targets there. But CeeDee Lamb is right there in the conversation after that big five. He's number 6 on my board now, and he's a second round fantasy pick with all these targets opening up in Dallas.
Okay, so they're thinking, hey, and we haven't really talked much fantasy at all. I think CeeDee Lamb is. I think he's above a tier 2 fantasy option just because of his ceiling. Like he's got a pretty high ceiling this year, being hip thrusted into that spot as the number 1 receiver. I got a question completely off of topic of what I was going to go with, but who would you guys take first out of anyone, any Cowboy player? Which guy would you take first in fantasy? If you had to pick AJ, who would you go with? If you had all the Cowboys on the board, we're not even talking like what you've drafted before. I'm just saying, who would be the first Cowboys player you would take?
I mean, are we taking? I'll give you 3.
Okay, give me 3. I like that better. I'd rather hear 3.
CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, or Micah Parsons if you're doing that IDP.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yep, I like the Dak. I like the Dak. I was in a 2 quarterback league last year, which I wasn't a big fan of, but I took Dak Prescott quite early on in the league just because it's a 2 quarterback league. But would you take what are you pointing at? We got our guest in our waiting room. We're just gonna bring on Ron Murray Jr. from Dallas. We're gonna bring him on in right now. We're not gonna beat around the bush. We're gonna get him into the action right here. Ad's just fiddling about right now, trying to get him. And this is a first time. This is our first time having on-air live guests. We've had some phone calls. We've had live guests, but we haven't had anyone actually from Dallas that actually has to do with the media and actually that covers the Cowboys. So this is a big deal for us. We got Ron Murray Jr. Ad's just doing a little bit of...
I think Ron can hear us. Can you hear us right now, Ron?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? Thanks for having me today.
Hey, there he is. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? So, hey, Ron, we just want you to quickly introduce yourself. Let us know what you do down in Dallas, where you work, and how you are kind of situated with the Cowboys.
Okay, once again, my name is Ron Murray. I work with K104 FM. It's a hip-hop and R&B station, but we're definitely one of the tops in Dallas. I have the unique situation to work at a hip-hop station, but I also cover sports. I've been covering the Cowboys, I would say, since about 2008, the last season at Texas Stadium. So with that, going out to practice, going out to games, going out in the locker room, I'll say it's just really been a blessing to be able to experience so many different things from Terrell Owens, Jason Witten, Tony Romo to, the 214 era with Zeke and Dak. Yeah. So I've really been able to see a lot of things. And just being in the Metroplex, there's so much going on. But, of course, with the Cowboys, they're always going to be main headlines. So I've definitely been able to see a lot during this time.
And I was going to jump into that. I have a couple Cowboys, favorite Cowboy currently and all time. But first, you were at the Cowboy rookie minicamp, correct?
Yes.
So I got to ask you, out of that rookie minicamp, who stood out the most out of the guys that we just, and it could even be an undrafted guy or one of the guys we took first, second, but to you with the eye test, who was who stood out to you?
To me, this is who stood out to me because, of course, with this draft, a lot of people, some people didn't think it was the most sexiest draft, but I feel it was a draft that could definitely help the Cowboys in the future. So what stuck out with me were the two offensive linemen. Tyler Smith out of Tulsa went in the first round. And, you know, it's even better that he's from Fort Worth. He's a local guy. So with that, he was playing tackle and guard. So that's something that he could definitely figure into the future now. And also the other big tackle out of North Dakota that they drafted, Matt Waletzko, with that. So those are the two things that really popped out with me. And then another person that definitely stood out was Marquise Bell, undrafted free agent out of FAMU. One thing Coach Will McClay does, you know, the VP of player personnel, he always does a great job finding undrafted free agents, being able to bring them in and make them solid players. Because even when you look around the league, if you scour the rosters a little bit, you can see a lot of guys who are undrafted free agents at one point with the Cowboys, and they go on to have success in other places. So I would say the two old linemen, because they're probably going to bring the most impact earliest of the rookie guys, if you ask me.
Hell yeah. I have a question about those guys. Are they as big as they look on TV? Are they some big dudes?
Yes, monstrous. Because I would say the difference between NFL guys, like NBA guys are giants. So, of course, being down here in Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki, Luka, seeing all those guys, those guys are legit giants. But with football players, they're more monstrous. You know, the build, the size, it's like, I don't even want you to fall on me wrong. You might flat. So, of course, with that, they are as big as advertised, yes.
Okay, before I jump into another question, we drink while we podcast. I don't know if you drink, but we crack them if we got them. So let me just get that right there. My next question for you is coming into the 2022 season, who on the team besides Dak do you think needs to step up the most to kind of get us past those shitty fucking first round exits? Like, what do we got to do to finally get past these brutal wild card or divisional round losses that we're so accustomed to? Who has to step up?
I would say this, and of course, I do think it's a team game, not necessarily want to put on one person. I'm definitely interested to see what CeeDee Lamb does, because now he is the guy. He is the one. Of course, with Amari Cooper gone, even though Cedric Wilson, no matter what people may think about him, but he played a big impact in the passing game. So now with CeeDee Lamb here, he has the 88 for a reason. I think he's definitely going to have to show everybody why he's the guy, why he has the 88, and not putting all the burden on his shoulders, but I think it's really going to be up to him to be that star on offense that everyone expects him to be.
It's funny that you said CeeDee Lamb, because this episode's kind of built, like we have a lot of articles we're going to dive in later about CeeDee Lamb, and we're kind of saying the same thing. It's time for CeeDee. Like, he doesn't have the Amari Cooper defense anymore. He has, like, you got the number, you got the 88. It's time to put your big boy pants on, and you got to be that 12 to 1,400 yards, 10 touchdown guy. For us to be successful, he has to be that person.
Oh, most definitely. I agree with that, because you don't pick him in the first round for anything. And now there's going to be more opportunities. And of course, you know, with the rookie class, Jalen Tolbert there, he's going to have opportunities as well. But now it's going to be interesting to see how people how CeeDee Lamb is schemed for, where he's not just in the slot now. Now he's going to be more on the outside. So you're going to be schemed as a number one receiver. Not saying other teams didn't, but now you're definitely the number one receiver, and there's no Coop Blanket, no Cedric Wilson who can come out and have big plays with the gadget situation. So, yes, definitely looking for CeeDee to do big things.
So I know you said that big Tyler Smith was a Fort Worth guy. You do cover a little bit of high school football, don't you?
Oh, yes, most definitely. So, of course, with Texas, you know, high school football is religion.
Hell yeah.
So with that, Tyler Smith, Fort Worth guy, he went to North Crowley. I've been to a few North Crowley games. So it's really just amazing how things come full circle. The head coach at North Crowley now, he's one of my cousins. So That's definitely a great thing to see. And, you know, I always love when guys come back to the area, but not just, of course, putting on the star, but when they put on the star and they come back and give to the kids, come back to the high schools, because then you're being able to sow a dream into them to say, hey, I was able to get here, you can too. So, yeah, most definitely. I love the high school aspect, because I'm able to give back so much to the community, especially with some kids where when it comes to athletics, the high school aspect, that's going to be it for them. So if I'm able to show them some love, shout them out on the radio, that could turn their whole day around. I love that aspect.
No, 100%. It's kind of funny. We're from Canada, so we try to do our best with like following guys coming up to the draft. Like we were down in the draft. And,
oh, that's awesome.
And when Tyler Smith got drafted, I was kind of like, who?
Tyler Smith.
I just had my brain set on so many other guys, but now diving into him and watching some tape on him, I'm like the reverse engineered draft guy. I wait till we draft players and then I like fully dive in to watch everything about him. And the more I watch about him and the move to guard, I just couldn't be any happier with that player. And I know there was a little bit of controversy when we first took him, but I'm super excited. Like you said, not the sexiest pick, but if he can get, 3-yard separation off the line of scrimmage, that's what I want. I want us to get back to running the ball and really dominating on the line of scrimmage.
And I agree with you, because let's look at the success when the Cowboys were had. It starts at the line of scrimmage. So I feel the Cowboys, they should have probably been trying to rebuild the offensive line. Maybe they took too long to rebuild the offensive line, if you ask me. And Connor Williams, that situation didn't go as we thought it would. Lael Collins, he left in free agency. So now you have to get younger and find guys who can play right now, because Tyron Smith, he's going to go into the Ring of Honor, but we're watching him break down in front of our eyes. So you got to get youth in there and new blood in there to just be able to step up, and hopefully they can, put something together and start running that ball again.
100%. Couldn't agree more. AJ, you got anything you want to ask there, buddy guy?
Yeah, I got 2 questions. Number 1, how much influence did you have on the coach becoming your cousin? And number two, Tony Pollard, where do you see him playing this year? He's like has been one of my favorite players since I become a new baby fan here of the Cowboys. So just throw those 2 questions at you.
All right, so I'll go with the latter first. So with Tony Pollard, I'm a big Tony Pollard fan. He was able to come in. He was definitely able to make an impact. I think people just want to see it more consistent now, because when he was having success, there was even rumbles thinking that, he could rival Zeke, possibly take that spot. And it may be one day, but I don't think it is right now. But I think with more reps and with a better offensive line, he'll be able to pop out and have more explosive plays. So I'm definitely a Tony Pollard fan and want to see him do more this upcoming season. So my cousin, who's the head coach at North Crowley, so I give him his credit. He's putting a lot of work in around the area. So I'm real proud of him. He's going to be out there in Fort Worth. His name is Ray Gates. And him and Tyler Smith, they've already hooked up. So I love seeing that. So he's already showing love back to his alma mater. So shout out to North Crowley.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Ron, we got a quick question from our chat. TikTok fame influencer 21 Armando 21. Crack me if you got him, Alex. He has a question for you. What do you think about the current tight end situation with Schultz and Ferguson?
This is how I feel about that. I feel it's going to be something where they can be both productive in the pass game. They can also be productive in the run game. And really, we've had Jason Witten for so long, and I think some people are still looking for that star power tight end, but I don't think that's what the offense needs right now. It needs to just be able to be great at a high level. And I think with Shelton, I believe with the tight ends, they can do that. So I think the Cowboys are going the right way. And, depending how you feel about the big contracts and such, but I think the Cowboys are going to be all right with that.
No, you know what? We would love to find another Jason Witten, but that guy's a generational player in the NFL.
Correct.
In the NFL, there's only so many Jason Wittens, and it is going to take 2 guys to replace what Jason Witten did.
I agree.
Jason Witten was a great blocker. He was the slowest guy in the field, was always open though.
He ran 2 routes, but they were great.
Ran 2 routes, but he mastered them. It's like he catches the ball and you're like, Witten, if you were just 2 seconds faster, you got a touchdown. But he always made those catches. And this is a good segue into my next question. Favorite current Cowboy, and then also to follow that up after, favorite all-time Cowboy.
So I would say my favorite current Cowboy. Y'all trying to get me in trouble in life. I would say my favorite current Cowboy. I'm gonna go ahead and all right. This may be cliche, but I'm gonna go with Dak and Zeke.
Hell yeah.
And the reason and I say that because I feel that they've been able to go, even though we may not have had the playoff success right now, they've delivered. no matter what you think about that. I feel Dak and Zeke, they both delivered and they deserve what they have. And then along with that, they're very much so in the community in Dallas. So that's the part I love as well, to where it's just not in the field, it's also off the field. Dak, he just had a big shindig with his foundation. So I love that. And I would say probably my favorite all-time Cowboy, it probably has to go with Larry Allen. There's not too many offensive linemen we've seen be able to do what he has done, run guys down when it comes to information. It does put the whole weight room on the rack and just start benching it. And then he just, like, you don't see a lot of offensive tackles like that. So I will go with Larry Allen as far as like one of my favorite all-time Cowboys.
It's funny that you say Larry Allen, because I don't know who posted it. Someone on Instagram, when I'm just scrolling, looking through all the Dallas Cowboys posts, it showed Aikman throw an interception to the Saints. And the guy just has green ahead of him, and it's like the dude in Happy Gilmore, that's Aikman's ball, like just flying down the field, and catches the guy that's probably 70 pounds lighter than him and has no business running him down. And just a guy like that, no quit, and like you said, strong as an ox, and another guy that's hard to find.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from chat there, bro, or do I can go into another one here?
Yeah, you go. I mean, there's a couple of questions still about the Schulte stuff.
Actually, from your last with the Zeke and Dak thing, I want to ask you about Zeke a little bit. There's a lot of hate for Zeke in the Cowboys Nation. I love Zeke. He's probably one of my favorite players. He's an awesome blocker. Maybe as he slowed down a little bit in the last few years, possibly. I still think he, to me, could be a very productive back in the NFL. Is his cap hit kind of hurting us? Maybe a little bit. But what do you think? What are we going to do with Zeke after this season?
I think after this season, this is going to be all on Zeke, but I'm not blaming all of him, because we just talked about the offensive line issues. It hasn't been what it has been before. So, of course, that production is going to go down. And just as life goes, Zeke is a little bit older. And, of course, Tony Pollard, he's there to put pressure. But I think the Zeke hate is unfair in a lot of ways. And to your point, people they underestimate the blocking part of it, especially when it comes to pass pro and to seeing what Dak has been able to do. But yes, do people want to see more production from Zeke? And I think he's able to do it, but it is going to start at the offensive line. So I think that hate is a little bit unfair for him.
And it is unfair. We were looking at his stats last week. He had over 1,000 yards. He had 4.2 yards per carry, 260 carries. If you want him to have more yards, give him the ball more. He was getting 4.2 yards a carry, which is a good yards per carry for a running back. And how many times, like you said, with our blocking, they give the ball to Zeke, and before he even has a chance, there's a guy in the backfield. And he usually shakes the first guy and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Correct. And I think a lot of that butt hurtness comes from, sitting out, the whole contract dispute situation. I think some fans haven't gotten over that, but I don't think Zeke has. There are plenty of teams around the NFL that would want Ezekiel Elliott.
Hell yes.
So sometimes you have to be grateful for what you have, or you'll have a platoon of running backs of guys that no one has heard of, and then you're looking for all new running backs the next year. So sometimes you got to be grateful for what you have sometimes.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I'm going to give you one last question before we let you get out of here.
Yes,
and it's put on a lot, because we're going to come back to this at the end of the season. And at every guest we have, we're going to make them do this. I want you to predict the Cowboys 2022 season record, and and give us a reason why they're going to have that success or why they won't have that success.
So it's not going to surprise me at all if the Cowboys go around 12-5. It's not going to surprise me, because if you look at the schedule, and I was doing this before we went on air. So you have the AFC South, they're going to go through that. Then, of course, the NFC North, looking how that'll go. The only thing that I'm worried about this season, and I've been thinking about this for years, because I've always wondered, is the Cowboys' window of a Super Bowl close to being closed? Because when Dak and Zeke got drafted in the same year, it was amazing. It was fantastic. No one would have guessed that. But when you look at how the Eagles are, even though the Cowboys killed the Eagles this year, they're getting better each year. Even a team like the Commanders, and we saw how the Giants drafted. So I think the Cowboys right now is in the mode of emergency to say, hey, let's get the most out of all the things that we can do right now, especially with this rookie class, to see if we can get to that championship level. But I think 12-5, that's not a crazy thing. And I think it's at least NFC East championship or bust. That's how I felt last season. But we saw what happened with the San Francisco 49ers. So of myself, I say 12-5 and at least the NFC East championship is very plausible. Even last year, yes, the Rams went on to win the Super Bowl, but in the playoffs, we saw how open the NFC really was. It really didn't have a dominating team. And if the Cowboys can get past the 49ers, there's no telling the type of damage they can. But if it was a fifth, crack it open, so I'll leave it at that right there.
You're a smart man. I also predicted that 12-5. So if we don't go 12-5, maybe we go, like, I also have predicted 17-0 in a Super Bowl as a joke.
On Madden, that can happen. On Madden,
it can happen. But hey, Ron, we appreciate having you on. We'd love to have you back on. You're very insightful, and you got street cred down in Dallas. You got an in, and we're looking for as many ins as we can get.
Us Canadians,
I appreciate it.
It's cold. It's cold up here, and sometimes it can feel isolated. As soon as we tell people that we're Cowboys fan, they're like, "You're Canadian." We're like, "Yeah, so you're cheering for America's team."
We're trying to just inch our way into Cowboys lore right now, and
that's awesome.
We love having you on.
I'm a very good friend from Toronto, so that's awesome.
Hell yeah, buddy. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you, fellas. Y'all be great.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
Thanks, Ron.
All right,
bye.
I mean, I could listen to Ron talk for.
Oh yeah.
What a cool guy.
For the entire cast.
What a cool guy. Very insightful. Very insightful.
I got to fix some stuff here for a second.
Very insightful, and he had like an answer for everything. I guess that's why he covers the Dallas Cowboys for a radio station, because he always has an answer. That was great. That was a very good interview, and I would love to have him come back on during season or even prior to season during training camp.
Yeah, I feel bad that I didn't have. I mean, it just felt. I mean, he was great. His sound was great. I just felt my whole audio and my visual presentation was janky. So next time Ron comes on, I assure you all that it's going to look better than it did.
We should have been in the small screen.
I know. I panicked as soon as he came on. I had to if you go back and you watch it, I'm like adjusting stuff. Like, it just was so not what I wanted it to be. But that's okay.
That's okay. It was good. He's very insightful dude. K104. R&B and hip hop. You know what? I wish we could tune in and listen to him, to be honest. You probably can with an app, I imagine.
I'm sure you can with an app.
So we're going to move right into our stuff. I like that he actually talked about some CeeDee Lamb stuff, because we have a lot of this episode or podcast based on CeeDee Lamb. Cowboys CeeDee Lamb ranked above Amari Cooper and others by PFF. And I hate it. I can't really use PFF because when they rank Trevon Diggs so low, I bitch about him, but then when I find a stat that I like, I use it. So you can't really do that, right?
You're just Anth, you're just being consistent with Cowboy fandom shit, okay?
I'm only gonna pick the stats I like.
Exactly.
It's like it's like the Diggs thing. Everyone always brings up the 1,000 yards. I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter.
It's like Dallas is going.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about any sort of stats, in my opinion. It's like, you got to. There's some things that stand out to me in my mind, not to rail on the Trevon Diggs, but hey, we're a podcast. This is exactly what we do.
That's what we do.
We like his yards that he gave up, and you've said it, Anth, and we've all said it, and we've all seen it. I will give up 1,000 yards a year for 11 interceptions every single time.
Every fucking time.
Yeah. So like that when they don't include that, or they bring that 1,000 yards up, but like don't talk about that, it's kind of a moot thing. However, when they bring up good points,
no, you're right. The thing just grabbing in.
He's just grabbing
to crack him. The thing I hate.
Biggest miss that we didn't get Ron Murray Jr. to say a crack him if you got him. So that's
next time. I don't care. Next time we got to get him cracked.
I think we panicked. I'm sweating, but
I was sweating. I was nervous. He's talked to Dak. He's talked to this guy's got ins. I started sweating my pits. I need to throw in some deodorant right now.
I like this new camera angle.
The Anth
cam. You need it to come up Anth cam. Here, well, it's on Anth cam.
We'll hold it up a little.
Oh shit! That just sprayed me. Crack him if you got him, son. I'm all giddy.
That's what she said.
Got him.
Smoke weed every day.
So my thing before we get off the Diggs, because we're kind of going sideways, which doesn't matter. We're talking Cowboys stuff, but with the Diggs thing, I guaranteed 31 other teams would love to have a Trevon Diggs who at any play they throw at him has a chance to pick the ball off. You know what I mean? Like there's no team that wouldn't want Trevon Diggs on their team.
Yeah. And
he's only a third year player who only started playing cornerback in his second year of college or something. Like the guy has such a high ceiling, and he's already, I mean, he might regress in the interceptions, but he's only going to get better at technique and being more of a shutdown player. So
yep.
I'm calling 7 between 7 and 9 interceptions this year.
I think
what
7's
I
seven's
expect.
a solid number.
I also think though that it'll be high because I think QBs and offensive teams want to kind of show that they can fuck on them, and I think they're gonna get bit because it's happened.
Man,
Hey,
sorry, AJ, go for it.
No, just for a player like how Diggs plays, I agree, Jose. 7 to 11, that sounds right to me. 7-11, baby. But for a way that Diggs plays and the way that the NFL is going with the passing game, it's really not crazy to think that he might get double digits again.
Oh man,
yeah,
because they air the ball out so often that, and that's his style of play. Is like, I'm going to make a play on a ball, and we saw it 11 times last year.
So there was probably about 20 times in our live stream, which anyone in chat, give me my camera, bro. We live stream every single Cowboys game, and we go absolutely nuts. There was probably 20 times we went nuts, like on big plays, and 11 of them were Trevon Diggs interceptions.
Yeah. And
we go batshit.
We're shotgunning beers. We're high fiving. We're taking our tarps off. So if you don't like out of shape dad bods,
and 2 of us don't even have kids.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm jacked for this season, especially that live streaming wasn't even a thing for us as we came into last season. But what do we got next on the
Dak Prescott pulls off locker room leadership move with CeeDee Lamb.
This is what I wanted to ask Ron, but I felt like we had the agenda. I was, anyways, doesn't matter.
For future things, just tap me on the leg or something, and you can get the next question, bae.
No, I had too much stuff.
Just reach into Anth's pocket.
I already cut a hole. I already cut a hole in the pocket. Just reach in there. So Dak Prescott pulls off locker room leadership move with CeeDee Lamb. I guess I'll read this out here. Quarterback's relationship with his receiver is incredibly important. Dallas Cowboys pass thrower Dak Prescott knows it. He built a strong connection with Amari Cooper while he was in Dallas, and now Dallas is going for it. And now plans
Dallas is going for it.
And now plans to do the same with the young receiver Prescott has no doubt can be the main guy in Cooper's absence. That receiver is soon to be third-year Cowboy CeeDee Lamb. Lamb and Prescott certainly have built an in-chemistry. What
are you doing there, AJ? Oh shit!
I'm just showing you.
Is that Vietnamese money?
Have you ever seen $500,000 on a bill before?
That's not. Yeah, but that's dong. That's 500,000 dong. So yeah, in Vietnam with the money, you take out like $100 and you're a millionaire because it's like a million. Yeah. It's $1 million dong.
Nice, I like it.
Lamb and Prescott certainly have built-in chemistry. In 20 games with Prescott at the helm.
Sorry. Kilo C, I was gonna
prison
say,
talk?
Yeah, he said, "Is Steven gonna sit around for the prison talk segment?" And then he just added it. Sorry, this was an interruption moment, and he goes, "Well, our guest just missed the prison talk."
You never go full episode without a little bit of prison talk.
Oh, sorry about that. Whammy.
In 20 games with Prescott at the helm, the Oklahoma product has 102 catches for 1,423 yards and 8 touchdowns. See, I need that in a season.
Right.
If you want to be this number one, I need that in a season. I need 100 catches, 100 plus catches, 1,400 plus yards, and I want more than 8 touchdowns. Crack him if you got him, son.
This is a split between 2 seasons, including Dak's injury year, right?
20 games with Prescott. So the 17 last year, or 16 that he played in, and then the 4 from 2020. So his basically CD's first 2 years just with Dak, which isn't bad in 20 games. But you want to be the number 1 receiver for the Dallas Cowboys and wear 88. I'm going to highlight this right here: 102 catches, 1,400 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That's got to be in a season.
Yep.
And I think he's fully capable of doing it.
Yep.
But where they said Prescott? Okay, so this is what Prescott said. Dak Prescott asked CeeDee Lamb's locker to be moved next to his. My 2 other locker mates left, so I was a little lonely. With him being young, hopefully he's my wide receiver until I'm done playing. Just bring him closer, more conversations. He's right there to talk and communicate.
Yeah,
hey, I like it.
Well, that's the one thing that and that's the one thing that I've been saying not the one thing, but the thing I've been saying whenever CeeDee Lamb comes up is that the chemistry is just not there. So to see the fact that Dak is talking like this and getting them together, that shit matters.
Come together.
Yeah. right here.
Right now.
Over me.
Boom, 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 boom. But I'm excited. I'm probably most excited for CeeDee Lamb's season to see if it's not, I wouldn't say make or break year, but it's his year. And I think he's going to come up and do what he needs to do. Ad, what do we got going on in chat? We'll do a little chat break if anyone's, what's chat got going on there, son?
So chat's agreeing with what we were just talking about. Jose Christian saying that is leadership. I'm having some issues with my little chat thing here.
Is that what you call it?
My little chat thing. Yeah, my little chat thing. And I got like a weird AJ thing. I'm just a mess right now. Like, look at, I just got AJ's eyes here. So keep going on while I fix this
so
shit.
the Cowboys, AJ, I'm gonna talk to you about our Cowboys tight ends here. The Cowboys dilemma at tight end position puts the spotlight on these three players. And I was just gonna play this. We're gonna let this robot talk a little bit here.
Well, before you play that, what Stephen White has a confession to make, and he says he loves Rush.
Cooper?
And I don't know if he's talking about Cooper Rush or if he's talking about the band Rush because we're Canadians, but but guess what? We love both of them as well.
We do. I don't mind Cooper Rush. I think he's a great backup. Would I want to have him start for more than 2 games? Probably not.
Kilo C saying that AJ's too sober for him.
Yeah, well, I know. He's too sober for me. It's throwing me off a little bit.
Yeah, it's throwing us all.
Hey, no,
off.
I'm actually drinking these 5.3. They're 333s.
Hey, we need to get a shotgun, dude. We need to get a shotgun from Sagon Shotgun at 8 a.m. Let's get one, AJ. You're on the spot. Kilo called you out. You're too sober. There it is.
Right now?
Yeah.
Fucking Tiger? Okay.
Tiger right down the hatch. Get it,
Tiger
kid.
bomb.
My last brew. Keep talking. I'll get this going.
He's get it going.
So we got, I was basically saying the dilemma with our tight ends. The Cowboys don't know what they want to do at tight end. When we really think about it, that's been the case ever since the team has attempted to transition from eventual Hall of Famer and Cowboys legend Jason Witten, which is actually what Ron was talking about a little bit. The initial return of Witten slowed down the progress of Dalton Schultz, and as the veteran receiver received the bulk of the reps while the younger guys rode the pine. And even after Witten was gone once and for all, the team hasn't been able all that sure who they believe will be the successor, as they have at different times invested in both Schultz and Blake Jarwin, only to still find themselves shrugging their shoulders about where the long-term answer lies. So my question is, with going off that first paragraph for you, Ad, and for chat, one, is Dalton Schultz a long-term fix at tight end? Like, do we franchise him this year? Do we franchise him again next year? Or do they give him a deal?
Yeah, that's what I think what the 21 Armando was asking is like, what is the movement? What is the talks kind of around the team about Schultz's deal? Jose, I think it was talking about, he believes that Schultz is going to be a $60 million man next year. Yeah. So Jose earlier said they will be a 12 personnel demons. Schultz is a top 5 TE. We will get $60 million a year if he gets free agency next year. So
100% he will. And you had Njoku with the Browns, who just kind of set the bar for tight ends. And he's not. I think Schultz is a better tight end than him.
Yeah.
So that $16 million a year on the open market is a fair estimate, and I could see the Cowboys possibly even tagging him again next year just to keep him, depending how Jake Ferguson turns out.
Yeah. It's very important that we get a tight end that can actually do some blocking duties. But if Schultz can actually put it in the end zone the way he did last year and maintain that, or if not improve upon that this year, then we absolutely have to
teach me.
We absolutely have to. And I think our 5 fundamentals of Schultz is a segment that I would absolutely miss if we didn't have Schultz on the team.
Go to the other screen. Read this here.
Fuck you, dickhead.
Read that out for us.
So Browns extended tight end David Njoku for 4 years up to
Njoku
up to 4 years. I know I'm being AJ for 4 years up to 56 milli with 28 million guaranteed per B. Nate Ehrlich. His production versus Dalton Schultz, whom Cowboys tagged. Schultz had 78 catches, 808 yards, 8 TDs, 43 first downs in 2021. Njoku had 55 catches, 688, 6 TDs, 30 first downs in 2020 and
Schultz
2021
fucking
combined.
thumped his and this guy's getting paid $56 million.
Yeah, so Schultz is probably looking at it and being like, Jerry, You know I don't want any other team besides you and Dak. Pay me my money, Jerry.
Well,
pay me my money.
Well, but between
You know,
him Twitch gaming.
Sorry, Schultz whips his shirt off in Jerry's room and shows him his multiple Dallas Star tattoos on his body.
And then lets him salt him.
Yeah. I did this for you. But sorry, go ahead, Ann.
Well, Dallas Cowboys Chris is saying no, and I don't know what he's saying no to.
Chris, we need more than no here. You don't think we pay Schultz, or you don't think Jerry salts him?
Jerry's gonna call Schultz into his thing and say, "Look, I get it. You're hot off your heels with a great season. The #1 Dallas Cowboys podcast is talking about the 5 fundamentals of Schultz. I get it. You're wearing the shirt, but what do you want? Tell me your press. Tell me your press."
Look,
as he's
keep in mind,
that.
Schultz is only 2 or 3 years. He's 25 years old, I believe. Like he's a young
bull.
Whippersnapper.
A young bull.
Yeah, Chris is Dallas Cowboys. Chris is saying he cannot block. It drives me crazy. Kilo's on Dallas Cowboys Chris's side, and he's saying he honestly believes that the Cowboys should find another Witten type of TE.
Yep.
So not a lot of Schultz loves in the chat. I mean, I guess a little bit. I shouldn't say that it's not. Schultz could still be a great TE too if we find that tight end who can do the blocking. But I'm just saying, I think.
What if Ferguson becomes this blocker, and then Schultz more of like a Jimmy Graham type guy?
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham was never known as a big blocker. Did the guy still have some seasons where he took over the NFL? Yes. I mean, the tight end position, I still do think blocking is key. We got really lucky with Jason Witten for so many years, and Schultz is fucking terrible at it. And they still, for some reason, will put him against like #1 defensive ends, which drives me nuts.
Do you think that any of the players on the team, when they after a play where Schultz doesn't block or he misses a block, do they say, "Would you pick up a block, you fucking pussy"? He's just like, boys, guys. Trying out there.
No,
okay?
Schultz one of those guys that if you yell at him or raise his voice, he shuts down and like just goes into a corner and just can't get out of it.
Schultz is way too sensitive for that, and I'm sure it's happened, and Dax had to go around and say, "Hey,
guys, you can't yell at Schultz like that." Yeah, you can't yell at Schultz like that.
Or do you think Schultz, if he misses a block, no one says anything, and he's just that guy? He slams a Gatorade cup off the thing. He starts kicking stuff, and like a fifth assistant line coach is just like, "Hey, Schultz, what's wrong?" He's like, "Do you not see I missed that block?" And it wasn't even his assignment whatsoever.
I still don't think they should put Schultz blocking anyone good.
Yeah.
No, Schultz has that rage.
Yeah, he does.
Before we move on, I'm just holding my Tiger gear ready to.
Let's see what you got. Get to vape 10 here, son.
Smoke weed every day.
There it is, right from Vietnam. Saigon, son. Ho Chi Minh City, son. Get it in you, son.
Puke on camera. Let's hear the clang. Let's hear the clang. Clang it if you got it.
It's invisible. It looks like you're holding a cheerleader.
Are you? Don't get canceled, Alex. What are you doing?
There you go.
Oh, I should have. I next time we should have had some sort of
crack 'em if you got
soundbite for from Street Fighter as you're doing that tiger uppercut.
Okay, so moving right along here. We've pretty much only talked offense so far this cast. So we're gonna go. How will the I'm gonna ask you and AJ or AJ. We just got
AJ went to go puke.
We just have cheerleaders dancing over there.
AJ went to go puke.
I don't know, and you think we would know this? What the Cowboys defense finished last year? I know they did pretty well. I want to say top 10, but how do you think? Do you think they regressed at all this year and how will they stack up next year?
I think our defense will be improved upon last year, and I think we were rated pretty high for our defense.
You think our defense is going to be better than last year?
I think so.
AJ, what about you? Is our defense going to, and chat, what about you guys? Is our defense improved? We lost Randy Gregory, but I thought
you meant if we lost AJ.
If we lost AJ, AJ's gone.
He's disappearing in a plethora of cheerleaders right now.
We lost Randy Gregory, but I don't think that's going to affect. I think Sam Williams is going to be able to replicate the success that Randy Gregory had in Dan Quinn's offense. I am excited as fuck to see
Jabril Cox back in action.
Jabril Cox back. Micah Parsons doing his thing.
Second year for Micah.
Dante Fowler Jr.
Yeah.
Jaron Curse, like Malik Hooker. Like I'm actually pretty excited for this defense. And we don't really spend a lot of time talking about him. DeMarcus Lawrence not being hurt for the first 7 games. Like there's a lot of upside to this defense. And I'm a big believer that great defense and a great running game will get you to playoffs and will make you successful in playoffs. So I would really like to see us improve, 1, on the running game, but 2, I would love for our defense to even be improved from last year.
Stephen White in the chat makes a great point. Second year Dan Quinn teaching, and first year LVE has had the same defensive coach.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that about LVE.
LVE, I mean, obviously we know your stance, Anth, on your love for LVE.
Yeah, I love him, yeah.
But he had a great last game. He had a great last couple games. Maybe took a season of Dan Quinn getting in his face, and I don't think Dan Quinn ever maybe got in his face.
Didn't take any big injuries last year.
Didn't take any big injuries, so I think getting into that scheme, understanding where you can kind of play Micah Parsons, having Jabril Cox and Sam in there, I think we're a better defensive team this year than we were last year.
So Jane Slater, fan of the podcast, tweeted defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, Gallimore, shout out, Canadian boy.
Zagama Beach.
I'm pretty sure he's from Windsor, Ontario.
Sagama Beach.
I'm pretty sure he's from Windsor, Ontario. Defensive tackle Neville. Can you fucking read this?
Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore told me he put on 16
put it on
pounds.
your face.
Sorry. Defensive tackle Neville Gallimore told me he put
You
on
almost
16
fucked
pounds
it up.
of muscle while maintaining his mobility. He wants people to pop in the tape this season and see a dog. Think Grady Jarrett, rather be underrated but respected, focusing on his eyes, pass rush, and improvement in run game.
I didn't hear a single thing you said. I got from it that he put on some muscle, which is sweet. 16 pounds of muscle.
Yep.
While maintaining his mobility.
Yep.
Wow. That's
Yep.
AJ did too.
AJ put on 16 pounds of muscle and he got even more flexible. I don't know if his mobility got better, but he can definitely bend over backwards, no problem.
So
I think you read the report wrong. I put on I have a nice new tire sitting around my middle waist.
Oh, do you got a little bit of
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Do you got a little bit of traveling belly?
Oh yeah, I've been drinking and eating.
Yeah, that's the best though.
Coming to you live this offseason, see Bandwagon Boy number 2 and 1 get into shape.
Yeah, I'm not getting into shape.
Oh, yeah.
So with the combination of speed and strength Quinn has to work with, I think all these guys should be productive. We may even see someone have a breakout year like Dante Fowler, which AJ had said, or rookie Sam Williams. I am excited to see them go to battle. Overall, we will have to wait and see if everyone can hold up and stay healthy. Grabbing some guys through the draft to help backload the defense, I expect them to be a solid group again and make enough plays to help them win some games. I don't hate it. I kind of like what they hit on that.
I do believe that our front rushers improved, and I think that can really dictate the pace of a game. And for a lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL that will be playing, you take away a half second from them and they're going to make some bad throws. And what does that transition to? Number one, it means that our linebackers don't have to be as high quality. And I don't really think that improved necessarily, but I think number two, it's going to benefit a player like Diggs again, because they're going to be making those throws. And even remember, who was it? Brown and did Curse have an int, or was that a
Curse had Curse had a couple. Curse had a couple. Yeah, actually a really nice one.
Against,
the Saints.
Yeah, exactly. So we can have some benefit there. So I think it all starts with eliminating the amount of time the opposing QB has to throw the ball. As for the run game, I mean, we'll see what's up with that. But again, if the front line is improved, like I think it is, it's going to just make the defense that much better overall.
100%. And I think a big bruising defense is one of the best things in football. And being a Cowboys fan since about I don't know, early 2000s, I haven't really got to see that yet. There's been years where we've had, like last year the defense had moments, and there's been years where the defense has had moments. But I've never seen a Cowboys team since I've been a diehard fan where the defense has been kind of the vocal point. I mean, you had Romo, now you have Dak, which you're gonna, as a Cowboy fan, you're gonna say the same thing. If we had an awesome defense, I just wish I had a quarterback that could win games. So it's one of those things you kind of have to pick your poison. You just need the defense to do enough to, like they said, steal some games. And I think we have that. We have Micah now in his second year. Dan Quinn's probably come up. DQ's come up with a bunch of new secret ways to
Lieutenant Dan.
That's Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
he's come out and figured out a bunch of new ways, and he's excited. The last article we're going to look at before we fuck off here is top 10 Dallas Cowboys who have something to prove in 2022. And you could really say that about anybody in the NFL. I'm sure they all have something to prove. This is just an article from blogging or SB Nation, blogging with the boys. I don't know. I just go for it. They actually said everybody has something to prove, but who has the most in Dallas? Right? Am I right?
Look at these guys.
So you got Deke, you got Deke, which is Zach.
You got Deke attack.
Zach and Zeke and Dak. Christ almighty. Okay, so we're gonna
Dak
go
and Deke.
Dak and
Dak
Deke.
and Deke.
Dak and Deke. So who do you think number 10 is? Oh, Diggies.
Dig it.
So
Dig
they-
'em a beach.
Dig him a beach. So they got
Wait.
Trevon Diggs at 10 with the most to prove, which I don't disagree with. I think he has a lot.
Sorry, time out. What is the article title again?
10 players with something to prove. Top 10 Dallas
Okay.
Cowboys who have something to prove in 2022.
Okay, who's your guess for
And
number?
then they
Who's your guess for each of you? Who's your guess for number 1?
Number 1 to me is going to be Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a CeeDee Lamb inspired episode. That's a pretty good guess.
I think Tyler Smith will be in the top 3.
Okay,
And I
Okay.
think
but we're not asking top
and I,
3.
and I think it's
You
gonna
just you curveballed us. You
Yeah,
just
right.
curveballed us.
I
Hey,
think he's
hey,
gonna give like 3
it's
names.
my question.
He's
It's my question.
He's
I
hedging.
can ask whatever I want.
He's hedging his answer. Give us who you think. Number 1, you get
CD.
No, he can't be C. Alex already got that. Give us
Well, you
someone
can.
else. Okay. Give us another one.
Well, fuck LVE, like because we.
Okay, LVE.
No,
That's tough. LVE. Okay,
No,
so,
please, no.
so Trevon Diggs at number 10, which I can see that coming off 11 interceptions,
Yep.
people are going to be watching him.
But look, they
I didn't even
Whoa.
think coaches.
They
Lieutenant
split
Dan.
number 10.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Did you say they skipped number 10?
No, like number 10, they're like top
Oh, they
10
did
players,
2.
and then they do 2 players.
That's
at number
stupid.
10.
That's a bullshit.
That's
thing.
bullshit. This is why I never pay
Bullshit,
attention
that's
to
cheating.
blogging with the boys. They don't get your shit together, blogging with the boys. 9 though, Dan Quinn. I do like that call.
I mean,
Okay.
I feel like Dan Quinn as number. Like, what does he have to prove?
If he can do it back to back.
Okay.
There's my
Yeah.
boy, J-Ron, baby. That's a jersey I want to get.
Okay. So is that one of your? Is that up there in your top?
Does he
jerseys?
have
jersey?
J-Ron's probably my number 1 jersey I want to get. I want to get a Tyler Smith because he's going to be around for the next 5 years. And then a J-Ron would be dope.
Yeah.
A J-Ron Kirsch jersey. I mean, but he's only on a 2-year deal, so
Yeah.
he might not be around for long, but he's dope. I like J-Ron.
Okay.
This is a good one. Tyron Smith at 7th most likely. Anyone just tuning in now, we're going through the top 10 Dallas Cowboys players with the most to prove in 2022. And at number 7, we got Tyron Smith. I don't disagree with. As far as something to prove, it's more so just staying healthy. He's already hurt. He wasn't in the OTAs. He was sitting out with the back injury. The guy's been in the NFL since he was 20 years old. He's just starting to break down.
Kilo C has a Micah jersey. Yeah, you do.
He does. Yeah, Kilo C's got a Micah jersey from the Cowboys CanFan because he's the best fucking fan out there. Micah's jersey belongs to Kilo. Like
yeah, 100%.
that. I'm so glad it went to Kilo instead of some random chick on Facebook that won it. Okay, so number
Stephen White has a Cooper Rush jersey. So.
Cooper, that's dope.
DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't agree with this. Him being on here for number 6.
Why not? You don't think he has something to prove?
Not at number 6. He could have been up. Like Diggs. Diggs and Micah Parsons as sharing a 10 spot is stupid.
Micah
anyway.
shouldn't be on this list.
Micah shouldn't be on this list at all. But Diggs should have been a little bit lower because of the amount of heat that he's been getting.
Just the amount of expectation.
Yeah, he should have been number 7.
Because it's one of those things. If Diggs doesn't have like 7 to 11 interceptions, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, see." Like,
Yeah, exactly.
but then has less yards. They'll say that they'll say interceptions don't matter when he gets them, but then if he doesn't get them, but only has 600 yards against them, they're anyways.
He's gonna anyways.
We've done it. Oh, did I say Zeke?
You said Zeke as number 1.
So 5. So Zeke at 5. We'll cruise. Dak at 4. I mean, at 4.
It's like Dallas is going for it.
So they think blogging with the boys thinks Dak Prescott is the 4th on the team that has the most approved. You guys said CeeDee Lamb.
I said CeeDee Lamb
and LVE.
But I do think Dak should have been a little bit higher.
You think so? Oh, Biadaz.
Oh, Tyler Biadaz. Okay.
I like it. That's actually a good pick. Someone that you never really think of, but yeah, that's a huge one. Oh, fucking vanilla. What do you call him, AJ?
Vanilla pudding.
Vanilla pudding.
Vanilla pudding.
Well, at one time we called him the fucking Dungeon Master.
Well, he still has a chance to get back to it. Let's get a zoom in.
He can get back to Dungeon Master if he fucking starts to play like one.
Guys, what do you want me to do?
Looks like he's been eating a little vanilla pudding too. Me and him.
If we're going on his looks, he should be called cottage cheese. Oh, speaking of Mr. In-N-Out Burger himself.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting coaches, the 3 of the fucking coaches to be on this list.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Mike McCarthy, I mean, when we were talking about like what is the defense and what does this team need, when we talk about like how happy we were with the team last year and what they needed this year, there was a lack of like that impact from the coaching staff. Kellen Moore looked like he didn't know where his shoes were for the second half of the season. And then Mike McCarthy just like he wasn't talking. Yeah. So that's where it's like, and again, because we obviously don't know what's going on behind closed doors or anything like that. I just feel like that the type of energy that locker room had with the offense and the defense, you need to have a coach that can come in there and light it up, not calm them down. And I know obviously you don't want to go. I mean, anyways.
No, I agree with you.
Well, no.
I agree completely with you.
Actually, I agree completely with this as number 1.
Oh, so do I.
I was not expecting.
Didn't think coaches were on the list.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Blogging with the boys next time. Give us some fucking crack 'em if you got them.
Crack 'em if you got them, son. Hey,
And
Kate, we're going to do a little exercise here, boys. So anyone in chat right now that doesn't really know the backstory of how this podcast started, we started this Dallas Cowboys podcast with Alex and Adam producing it. That's why they're the Bandwagon Boys. They were on to produce it. Bandwagon Boy 1 and Alex is Bandwagon Boy 2.
I think in a couple earlier episodes I was wearing
a Raiders hat,
Seahawks hat.
But so they started off. They weren't Cowboys fans. Now they've been. You guys have been through a season. You guys, like I said, talk about Cowboys football probably more than a lot of fans do. You devote a lot of your spare time to doing stuff focused on the Dallas Cowboys. But it's test time, boys. It's test time.
Oh fuck!
I need 20 Dallas Cowboys players' names. This is how we're gonna end out. We're gonna end out the episode. I need 20 names from you guys.
So AJ, I'll just start ripping off. So Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Tyron Smith, Tyler Biadass, Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. What are we at there right now?
7.
Trevon Diggs.
You don't.
Trevon Diggs.
You don't worry about what number you're at. Keep naming players. Stop looking at chat.
I'm not looking at chat. I'm looking at the camera. Noah Brown.
Yep, the good one.
AJ.
James Washington.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Connor McGovern.
Yep.
Dalton Schultz.
Yep. Yeah, think of it this way. Think of positions. Don't think of players.
Yeah,
think
no,
of
that's
positions.
exactly what I'm doing. But now I'm all fucking.
J-Ron Curse.
Micah Parsons.
Hooker.
J-Ron Curse. Malik Hooker.
LVE.
See, there
Marcus
you go.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Tank.
You said Parsons.
Yeah, I said Micah Parsons. He can't write fast enough because we're fucking ripping
come
through
on.
that list, bitch.
Okay, start with here. Quarterbacks. Name the quarterbacks on
Cooper Rush.
There you go.
Cooper Rush.
I already said Dak Prescott, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm giving you an easy one. Give me wide receivers. Actually,
yeah,
I think you hit most of them.
We said Michael Gallup.
We said all except
Tolbert.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Jalen Tolbert.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're
think a first round draft pick.
We said.
No, you didn't. You said
Tyron Smith.
Yeah. So give me the first round.
Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
Shit. What's his name? Is it?
Guys.
Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler Smith.
Jesus. Boys.
I thought I said twice. I thought
I said Tyrone Smith.
Oh yeah, right.
Who's our right tackle at?
What now? You're quizzing me exactly.
Hey, he's like Superman. Man of
Steel.
Steel.
Yeah, Steel. Fuck me in the ass.
Okay, one more, boys. You need one more. Come on. I'll second round pick. Come on.
Hang on. Let me. Oh, Sam Williamson.
There. No.
He wasn't.
You didn't even say
Williams.
Sam Williams.
Thank
But
God.
he wasn't. Was he second round?
Yeah.
Sam Williams.
I'm joking.
Sam Williamson.
Tyler Ferguson.
No, it's Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
So still a little bandwagon-y.
Yeah, 100%. Hey, listen. I'm never going to shed the bandwagon.
The way
moniker.
the way you can prove that before you say anything, the way you can prove that
We gotta go to the episode where we're grabbing hands.
before you got to be able to prove it. You got to name the offensive line. If you can crank off, if someone says, "Oh, you're a fan of the team,"
I know.
So who do you got left tackle? Who's your left tackle?
I can't do that right now. You're putting too much
Tyler-
pressure on me.
Tyrone Smith.
Tyron Smith. Who's your left guard?
You're putting too much pressure on me.
We just
Tyler
drafted him.
Smith.
Okay, who's our center? He was one of the first people you
Be it
named.
Be it as.
Be it as.
Who's our right guard, which you guys didn't name? Who's probably one of our best players?
Martin. Zach Martin.
Yeah, and who's
Yep.
our right tackle?
Steel.
Boom.
Yep.
Now, who's our defensive line?
We got Demarcus Lawrence,
Yep. D-Law.
D-Law. You could say that Micah Parsons is
No,
on, is
no,
on, I'm
he's a
just saying,
linebacker.
you
No,
could-
no, no, no,
you
no,
could
no.
say, you could say that Micah Parsons is on the line.
I need to hear the D-line.
Well, now you're
Just
you're-
give me any
you're
guys.
putting-
D-Law, Neville Gallimore, Osa, and we'll say Fowler Jr. Boom.
Okay.
Easy peasy. All right, I think we're gonna wrap up with that. You guys did name 20 pretty quick. You guys last year at this point didn't name 10.
I
so
think the problem is that when you put it on the pressure, like it kind of starts.
the
to
trick
seep
to
it
that
through.
though, the next time I do it, you just got to think position like QB,
Yeah.
Dak, Cooper Rush. Okay, running back, Tony Pollard, Zeke.
Yeah.
Okay, wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, Jalen Tolbert, Noah Brown. That's how you have to do it.
Look, I mean, we were going with like a really decent amount of people tuning in, and then as soon as you started quizzing us, our numbers just started to
Yeah,
drop.
but we were gonna get out of here anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So, anyways, for the Bandwagon Boys, AJ in Vietnam, wherever the fuck he is, and for Ad Best here, Bandwagon Boy, we're gonna add some dope ass lyrics to this shit, like we them boys, we them boys.
We back, baby. We
Cowboy
back, baby.
Nation.
Cowboy Nation, baby.
All right, we're out.